All right, this time we're going to open the floor to questions. Just raise your hand, state your name and affiliation. We have mic runners on each side. We'll start here with Mike, then come to Tom.
Mike Neff from FrontStretch.com. For each of you, Joey, you're leading the points right now. Do you think that your team is in a position, because winning a championship takes a certain kind of caliber and team, do you think you've got the team in place now that's going to make the run for the whole season? And for Kasey, being an owner in this sport, as many dates as these guys run and the economy the way it is it really even tougher than it ever has been to field a car all those nights?
Well, he's fielding 3 cars, so it's pretty tough. Yeah, I feel we definitely have the team in place. It's been a long road. This is my 5th year with Kasey Kahne Racing, and I don't know. It's just been a lot of hard work, and we're definitely getting to the position where we feel like we can race these guys week in, week out, and we're putting the points up to do it. So hopefully we can win a championship. That's definitely our ultimate goal.
Yeah, it definitely, to me, is tough right now. There's a lot of people that do a really nice job with it, and we work hard to have our cars run well, and it's, the travel is a huge part of it. So when they're running 2 times a week or 3 times a week, it to me makes a little more sense, because they're racing as well as Joey runs each night. You're bringing in money at the same time. They don't tear cars up very often. I mean, it's just they have a really good team and they do a really nice job. So it helps to have that type of a team. But I think with this deal, it's if you can run 80 to 90 times a year is definitely better than 60, where you're traveling as much as they travel. The World of Outlaws travel everywhere, so in order to hit more shows and still do that traveling, makes a little more sense.
All right, come here to Tom.
Tom Jensen, SpeedTV.com. Could you guys both reflect a little bit on what happened with Jesse Hockett last night? Lost a very good sprint car driver.
I really don't know the details, but it's definitely a huge loss to dirt track racing. So I don't know. I mean, it's actually Jesse drove for Kasey back. I don't know. It's been a while.
It was he drove for me for about a month, and we've always been friends. He's a good guy. He was just a good person. You'd see him whether it was after a race or a couple days before a race. I always see him around Knoxville Nationals time, because I hang out for a few days, and he's just always a good guy that's excited and loves to be racing, loves to do what he does. So as far as I know, it's just a freak accident, and it's really sad for his family and friends. But yeah, it sounded like it was just a freak accident, and he was getting ready to go racing. That's what he does.
Kasey, Brian Nelson, MRN Radio. You and other drivers do a lot of things with special paint schemes, sponsorship contests, and hospitalities and so on to attract attention and do things specifically for your sponsors other than just put their name on the car. In light of how difficult it's become for some teams to keep sponsorships and so on, have you noticed, maybe in your situation or seen it in others, that drivers and teams are doing more than they did a few years ago for their sponsors?
Well, you definitely need to, take care of them and keep them happy and keep them excited about what they're doing. We do some things with our Outlaw team. They bring a lot of Budweiser distributors and people to the track at the Outlaw side. We do it on the Cup side. They enjoy it. I'm really excited that Budweiser wanted us to put the paint scheme, the same paint scheme that we run on the Cup car, on Joey's car for a couple weeks as well. So they enjoy it, and Budweiser's got behind our sprint car racing, and it's been really neat to work with those type of people. I've made some really good relationships over the years, and that's how we have our sprint car teams going, is through those relationships and trying to take care of those sponsors and keep them happy. And you have to do it with them. You have to do it with the fans. Keep the fans excited about what you guys are doing, and that's why each sponsor likes to be with each team.
All right, we got 3 more here. We got Scott, Marty, and then Rob.
Question for Kasey. Scott Graff from National Public Radio. I'm asking you about the 4 women who will be starting in the Indy 500. While, of course, here in Charlotte, we don't have any females in the field this weekend. If somebody picks up the paper this weekend and reads that who may not be a race fan, how would you explain that to them? why there are 4 in Indy and none here?
I don't know why. I don't know how that exactly works. I know that the 500's a big weekend in Indianapolis, and the 600's a huge weekend here. But yeah, they have 4 qualified into the 500 on Sunday, and hopefully they run well. We haven't had as many women drivers in NASCAR. I think Danica's been working on it some this year. But our cars just take time to learn. It takes time to work with the right people and get that feeling for our tires and the way that our cars handle. And so you just need that time. And I think if Danica puts the time in, maybe she'll be in this race in the 600 at some point. It just depends how much time she has.
Yeah, 2 more questions, Marty.
Marty Smith, ESPN. Joey, how does it impact you as a driver to drive for somebody that both does it and has done it and understands it, and also does it currently at the same time you're doing it?
Well, I mean, Kasey's a great talent. So actually, the funny thing is we've been struggling at Williams Grove, and was that last week or 2 weeks ago? And Kasey went there and raced and had an idea what we needed to do with our race car, and we actually did it, and it worked. Now the guys may not like that idea, but
that doesn't happen all the time. I always give them ideas, and most of the time it doesn't work. But that one seemed to work for some reason.
It really worked. It was something we've been missing, and we went there and ran second, and ran fourth. So that's just a testament to Kasey and his driving ability. And you drive for owners, and they demand a lot, but they really don't understand the racing. And Kasey totally understands it, so there really isn't no pressure. Or you just go out and do the best you can. So it's pretty cool, really, to be in this situation.
Our last question from Rob Paul.
Rob Paul, WSSC TV. Kasey, you've had success here at this track. What's the toughest part about running day and then switching over to night?
Well, I think the biggest part, if you're going to be fast at night here, usually you're not going to be the fastest in the day also. So you just have to have that in mind, at least the way my cars have been in the past. When we're good at the end of the race here, we start off a little bit off, too loose or something like that in the daytime. And you just have to bide your time. You have to wait. 600 miles is such a long time. You can make little adjustments throughout each run, and try to look forward to each run and making those adjustments. But usually you just try to stay calm and wait until later in the race. And I've been lapped here before in the daytime and come back and be really good at night. So it's just a balance. And if you can get that balance right, you'll have a shot at night, and you just maybe put up with a little bit during the day.
Thank you, guys. And now we're going to have a photo opportunity. If you've never seen a sprint car and a Sprint Cup car side by side, they've got the matching paint schemes outside. We're going to go pose for a quick photo op. And World of Outlaws sprint car, the Circle K NASA Energy Showdown, tomorrow at the dirt track just across the street. Time trial start at 6:45 and racing at 7:15.